Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Thanks,
It is time for match 6 of the ODI World Cup, and it sees New Zealand take on Netherlands. New Zealand could not have made a better start to their campaign by beating defending champions England, while Netherlands, although they did lose to Pakistan, they did win some admirers by their battling display. To set up that clash, I'm joined by our cricket expert Dav Watmore and my colleague Nikhil Mathur. Dav, what are you most looking forward to seeing in this clash?
Well, I'm keen to see one or two of these Netherlands boys again take the opportunity to further their experience, do well. Nobody expect them to win, but there'll be some individual battles that I'm sure that a few of these guys will be interested to, really keen to do well. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, we'll be building up to those battles in just a moment. Nikhil, what stood out for you in New Zealand's first win against England?
I mean, it has to be the 200-run partnership between Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra. I mean, Conway has been scoring runs, but Rachin Ravindra, the way he played, I think he changed the game, and, you know, he was responsible for a 9-wicket win. And for today, the toss is just about to happen, and I'm interested to see who comes in. I think Lockie Ferguson is fit, and there's a chance that Tim Southee might play as well, although Kane Williamson is still out. So it's going to be an interesting playing 11 from New Zealand.
Dav, obviously you don't want to tinker much with the winning team, but if Southee is fit, do you think they'll go for him?
I'm not sure. I don't think he needs to be rushed. I mean, he's a very experienced bowler. He doesn't take long to come in and get his rhythm.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see Lockie Ferguson coming, because he's potentially a guy that can open up some wickets early on. He's got speed, and it was a little bit of a problem that he couldn't play last game, but I'm expecting him to play, and we'll find out very soon. But there's no real need to rush back the captain Kane Williamson either. Anyway, we were told that he will be rested, looking to come back in the third game to appear there. So for me, just the one change, Lockie Ferguson instead of Tim Southee.
Okay. News coming in from the middle is that Netherlands have won the toss and elected to field first. So what do we know about the pitch, Nikhil, and how have the warm-up games fared so far?
I mean, the average first inning total in Hyderabad is 288. So it's going to be a paradise for batters. But as we saw in the first match that was there on this ground in Pakistan, I think there's something for the bowlers as well, but it will favour the batters. And as you said, like, Netherlands have won the toss and they've elected to field. I think they are going with their strengths. They are a good bowling unit. Batting, they bat deep, but they don't have those match winners. So, and I think the way Edwards marshalled his troops in the first match, I think that was admirable. So we have a great contest on our hands.
Nikhil, 2 tosses to Netherlands.
Yeah.
And I think the trend of what I'm seeing anyway is that it becomes just a little bit easier to bat under lights. So they've done the right thing, I think, to win the toss and bowl, and I'm sure that Aryan Dutt will again start.
Yeah.
And let's hope that one or two of these Netherlands boys really step up.
And as you said, the one man that stood out during that clash against Pakistan was, of course, Bas de Leede. Oh, he's really one to look out for. A proper all-rounder.
He is, isn't he? He was a little rough around the edges with his accuracy, but he got 4 wickets, and he gave away. I'm sure that he would have preferred to have the runs column a little bit lower. But boy, oh boy, for me, as I've said a few times, he was my man of the match last game, despite being on the losing team.
And Bas de Leede was born in Christchurch. So he was born in Christchurch, so he will take on his birth country. And we have the playing 11s. I think Lockie Ferguson comes in place of Jimmy Neesham. That's the only change
There you go.
in the New Zealand lineup. And I think Netherlands are pretty much the same, if I'm not wrong.
Logan Van Beek is out.
He's injured, right?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
thought. I've had a
And-
note here. He's
Yeah.
If he's injured, unfit, I thought young Engelbrett, is that correct? Has Engelbrett come in?
Yes, he's in.
Yes.
Yes.
I've got it
And
right.
Dav got that right.
That's
Yeah.
why we have no more with
I
Watmore.
can show you there if you're
His notes are very meticulous.
But coming back to New Zealand, here we have the New Zealand. Jimmy Neesham is out, and obviously Lockie Ferguson
takes his
in
place,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah. But we have to talk about this man, Rachin Ravindra. That innings, I mean, it was really something to behold. The way he was just playing his shot, 23-year-old making his World Cup debut, just outstanding.
It was really a fearless approach, wasn't it? He had some confidence coming into the tournament in a couple of practice matches where he got runs, and he just took that form right into this match. And they were chasing a score of 280, not the easiest against a decent attack. And they responded unbelievably, having lost a wicket in that first over. 81 runs, Nikhil, in that first 10-over phase, in the power play phase, and he was responsible for some of that, along with his partner, Conway.
Yeah. But I think he's living up to his name, Rachin Ravindra, which is a mix of Rahul Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar. His parents named him after those two legends, and definitely he's lighting up the tournament. And as Dav pointed out, he has a decent warm-up game. He smashed bowlers in that warm-up game as well, and against a quality England pace attack. So I think all eyes on him. He wasn't probably the X factor going into the tournament in the list that a lot of us created, but now I think definitely he will be one of those. Dav didn't like his bowling.
No,
he called him rubbish. What rubbish bowling is he?
He needs to improve that part of his game, but I tell you what, if he or when he does, he'll be an absolute, very important player for that team over many years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
It's
very
going to be
young.
really good.
Also, there's a lot of interest around him in India since his family is in Bangalore, obviously named after two of the greats of Indian cricket in Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid. But also, this New Zealand team, I mean, it's a long tournament. Obviously, they'll be riding high right now, but we've seen, teams can be brought back down to earth very soon, and you know all about that. You have sort of masterminded that big upset against India back in 2007. So complacency should not be there when it comes to New Zealand.
Well, no, it won't be today. I'm pretty sure. The challenge for the Netherlands is to compete as well as they can. But the test for New Zealand will come eventually when they are under a little bit of pressure, and surely that will happen. And then how they respond to that, Nikhil, will determine, how good a team they are. Because at the moment, as you said, they're riding really high. They're very confident. They're playing a team that they're expected to absolutely steamroll. But the sterner tests to come.
Yeah, but I think it's easy 8 points for them because they're playing Netherlands today, then then Bangladesh, and then Afghanistan. So I think they can quickly jump up to the points table and be on 8 points, and then probably take it easy when it comes to the business end.
Well,
You've got the hard teams to play next.
Yeah, then the hard teams, but you have 8 points in the bank.
There the test will come.
But obviously, the New Zealand batters, apart from three of them, didn't even play in that first match. So, I mean, they, will be looking to get some good, match practice.
Maybe
going
they'll
in.
tinker with the batting order.
Yeah.
If they don't lose a wicket in the first 25 overs, they may, ask one or two of these middle orders to come up and have a bit of a go. You never know.
We've been talking about Rachin Ravindra and Devon Conway, but looking at the rest of their batting lineup, there's some quite a few impressive players there. Daryl Mitchell, Tom Latham, Glenn Phillips, Mark Chapman.
Yeah.
All of them can hit.
And when Kane Williamson comes in, will he bat at number 3 or will they still stick to Rachin Ravindra?
And that's interesting. But maybe he'll be promoted to open, and then they can, fit in the captain nicely. But that's for another day. But that's an option. Yeah.
But it's such a sort of this is their playing 11 versus Netherlands, as we can see. Devon Conway, Will Young, Rachin, Tom Latham, who is captain when Kane Williamson is out. I think I think the fact that they have so many match winners in their 11, I mean, and sort of, we weren't looking at Rachin Ravindra as a match winner, but he has turned out to be one. I mean, there's a real sense of confidence now in the New Zealand team.
The thing I see there is that Mitchell Santner's at 8. How good a batsman is he? Because against the big teams, Santner, Bolt, Henry, Ferguson, that may be a little, the tail is a little long. I'm not sure how good a batsman Santner is, but for this game, 3 fast bowlers, 2 spinners, and a bit of part-time from the wicket-keeper. Glenn Phillips will make up their attack.
But like in the last match, you won't expect Glenn Phillips to take 2 wickets in every match. So if they don't have a Glenn Phillips, I mean, then they're only left with what? Lockie Ferguson, Matt Henry, Trent
5.
Bolt, and essentially 4 bowlers.
Yep.
So I think that's also a concern for New Zealand. I mean, they want to strengthen their bowling attack as well.
They'll have 5, won't they? You got 3 quicks and 2 spinners. Santner and Ravindra. He seems to be bowling a little bit of loose stuff.
Yeah.
But I think he'll grow into this competition, and just looking at his action, I think he's quite capable of becoming a little bit more consistent with his length and his direction. So I think they'll always have 5. But Phillips, if they're relying on Phillips to come and get wickets all the time, that's not going to happen. They're going to be disappointed.
I think he's allowed to have a bad game with the ball, with the game with the bat.
Well, let's see.
But I think when it comes to Santner, I think he can add those sort of 15, 20 runs coming in late, in between that 40 and 50th over, which we know he can. He's played in the IPL, and that's what they're looking to do. When it comes to Netherlands, we've spoken about Bas de Leede, but some of the batters as well, they impress. Vikramjit Singh, he looks a real clean hitter of the ball.
Yeah, he's up the top, and he did pretty well. He got a half century. The guy he's batting with, of course, is what is their most
Max O'Dowd.
Yeah. And he also, to me, he appears to be very aggressive. He wants to attack the ball every ball.
Yeah.
Very high backlift. He comes down on the ball, and he's been successful. But in this level of competition, it's going to be pretty hard. So, he needs to spend a bit more time, and I'm sure that these two can, on a good wicket, like this will be, hopefully in the second half when they bat under lights, it might be kind to them. So, I think I'm hoping they'll do well. And then you got Ackerman, who played a lot of county cricket.
Veteran. Yeah.
Bas de Leede, who did so very well and has impressed a lot of people. Nida Manuru, who apparently is a very aggressive young batsman.
Yeah.
And he showed signs of it last game, but sadly got out too early. Scott Edwards is a very experienced captain who is very busy. Sadly, he went out very early, but they'll miss him. Engelbrecht, he's one of the best fielders I've ever seen, that guy. So and he's batting at 7 and will bowl off spin.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we were talking about Indian connections in the New Zealand team. There are quite a few with the Dutch team as well. Vikramjit Singh is Indian origin.
Aaron Dutt.
Yes, and of course Teja.
Teja, yeah.
Yeah, he's also an Indian connection. So Nikhil, apart from Bas de Leede, who had a great game, who do you think can be like a match winner going forward for them in the tournament?
I think their opening is strong. I think Vikramjit Singh played well, and Max O'Dowd is their leading run getter in 2023. But I was impressed by the guy that you see on number 10, Aaron Dutt. He has an economy rate of 3.46 in the power play. He has bowled 40 overs in the power play so far, and he picked up a wicket against Pakistan as well. And he created some troubles for the Pakistani batters. So I think his spin in the beginning is going to be very crucial for Netherlands, and I was very impressed with him, the way he bowled in the power play.
And sometimes not easier with a brand new ball,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit slippery. He showed that he's got the ability to be accurate with a new ball, which is not easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Dutch got their game plan pretty okay against Pakistan. Obviously, they stuck to their game plan. Now, what do you think going into this match after they won the toss? What do you think their game plan will be?
Well, they're going to miss Logan van Beek, I feel.
Okay.
He's got good pace and comes with some experience for playing a lot in England. They're going to miss him. But generally speaking, their game plan is, just to quietly try and slip under the radar when opposition batsmen think, I'm going to get some freebies here, but they don't give you too many freebies. And, as long as that C word complacency doesn't come in, then they're going to have to work hard to get some wickets. But essentially they're going to bowl discipline as they possibly can, and they're not too bad, and hope that errors will be made from the opposition, which will result in, catches being taken. And whatever they get, they're going to hope that they can, make an impression chasing a total.
Okay, let's take a look at a few of the questions and comments that we are getting in. Prakash asks, interesting, can we see New Zealand scoring 400 today because they are good at chasing? Whoa, he wants a 400 total, Prakash.
Well, 400 totals, we saw that in the Delhi ground the other day, Arun Jaitley Stadium, because the conditions were just beautiful.
Yeah.
Came onto the bat, trust the bounce, it was consistent. And you got some terrific batsmanship, in South Africa. So has New Zealand, but I rather feel this is a slightly different, abrasive pitch. But I could be corrected. I'm expecting them to score big.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But whether they get 400, not sure.
Okay, we have another question. Yesterday we saw the spinners make the difference for India, especially after that power play. So, question coming in is, how do the spinners approach the power play in this match?
In this match?
Yeah.
Well, they'll be starting with Aryan Dutt, I feel.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Particularly with Logan Van Beek not playing. So how do they approach it? Well, much the same, really. They just be accurate and keep repeating good balls. There's not much else they can do. If they're able to do that, they can create some sort of pressure on batsmen, and hopefully that pressure will cause them some discomfort like we saw in Pakistan. He did well against Pakistan, and hopefully they're looking for that guy to almost lead their attack with the new ball, bowling spin.
Yeah, and I think what Ravindra Jadeja did yesterday, the pitch was obviously more suited to spinners, but keep it straight and the odd ball will turn, and that's your best chance to get the batter out, because keep that confusion in the batter's mind that will it turn or will it come straight. So I think Aryan Dutt has that line and length, the odd ball will turn, and I think that that will trouble the batter.
Okay, we have a comment from Pramod Anant who says, absolutely chuffed for Sibrand Engelbrecht, who makes his ODI debut today. Feel for Logan Van Beek, who would have loved to play against some of his best friends.
Yeah, well, but I'm also very happy for Engelbrecht because, I think he could have a little future there with Netherlands, and I hope he goes well.
Okay, here's a question. Anil is asking, New Zealand have 6 left-handed batters in their lineup. How effective is off-spin for the Netherlands?
Well, it's the more off-spinners. Well, they got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Haven't they? Ackerman and Aryan Dutt. So I'm expecting that certainly they'll be looking for those guys to operate against the lefties, which is a normal matchup that you would expect. But they're lucky they got 2 off-spinners.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that key battles graphic up on there. Till then, we have another question that is coming in. Oh, it's about Trent Bolt. So we have Edward who asks, is Trent Bolt the best new ball bowler in the last decade? That's interesting.
That's a bit tall. Isn't he? He's a good bowler, no question.
Yeah.
Whether he's the best bowler in the last decade.
Best new ball bowler in the last decade.
Yeah, he's got a few guys he's got to beat to get that accolade, but he's a good player, no question. And we felt, didn't we, Nikhil, that he bowled not so good in his first spell, but came back and bowled pretty well, picked up a wicket, I think, and at the end of it, 10 overs for 48, 4.8 is pretty good.
Yeah. But I think I understand where the question is coming from, because I think in T20 cricket, probably he's among the top 3 opening bowlers, because the way he swings, and we have seen in IPL when he was playing for Rajasthan Royals, I think he had a great economy rate and he would pick up a wicket in the power play. So he is one of the best in the 20-over format. In 50 overs, there are few, but I think he can be destructive and he can give them the start that New Zealand wants.
That graphic wants us to talk about this, don't they?
So there talk us through one of your key battles, as Dav has been preparing for every match. He's been doing his homework. Talk us through this key battle, Dav.
Yeah, well, Devon Conway, being a left-hander, is going to expect Aryan Dutt, especially from the last game Netherlands played. So I'm sure he would have prepared. in his own mind how he's going to negotiate the right arm, accurate right arm off spin, and I'm very sure that will happen.
Okay, can we have the next one, please? Yes.
Well, the other Centurion.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
Logan Van Beek is not playing, as we just found out. But yes, Rachin Ravindra obviously will once again be. Yeah.
Yeah,
can we have
sadly
the next
for
one?
him.
Yeah.
Okay, Vikramjit Singh is he's a half century last game, and I'm sure that the New Zealand bowling group would have discussed this fellow. And again, he's another one of those left-handers that loves a bit of room. So the ball that's moving away, is potentially a wicket-taking ball, but is also in his arc as well. So he's got to be a little careful to make the right decision when he goes after it and when he doesn't. So it's going to be a good battle, I reckon. It's like a David and Goliath, Bolt so much experience, and there's this guy playing only a handful of ODIs. But it'll be an interesting one, for me anyway.
Okay, so we have an interesting question that's coming in. What, according to you, has been the best performance of the World Cup so far? And we have options as well. Wait for my options. Aiden Markram with that record-breaking century. Virat Kohli's, he proved he's the master of the chase once again yesterday. Devon Conway, of course, with that innings. And Bas the leader. So I'll be coming to you both. Dav, I want you to answer this question. You're on the spot again.
I don't think Virat Kohli, because he gave a chance and he was very lucky to get that chance. But he batted really well. Please don't think I'm being negative towards him. But you're asking me who? I think Bas de Leader would have to figure right up there. He did very well with the ball and the bat. I like Aiden Markram because it was a flawless innings. And it was a record, wasn't it?
Yeah, fastest ever World Cup 100.
Yeah, so, and you got these two Centurion boys in the first game. Difficult one, but I'll have to go with Aiden Markram.
For you, Nikhil?
It's a difficult one. I would want to include KL Rahul there as well. I think he also played really well. Didn't give any chance.
Yeah.
But I think I would go with Devon Conway. It's the opening match. You're playing the defending champions, and 280 is not a small target. And the way he went, I mean, got to give him credit. I think Devon Conway is my pick.
They're all good, aren't they, Nico?
Yeah, they are.
What sort of how do you pick one out of those?
Well, that's what. Yeah, well. This is our segment, No More with What More, and keep firing those difficult questions for Dav Whatmore. That's why we have him here. So we have another difficult question for you, Dav. This is the second set of matches kicking off. Which teams are really looking like contenders so far?
Well, the winners obviously are ones who have started well, and they look like they prepared, as well as they could, and the results are showing. So you'd have to say New Zealand, and you have to say South Africa, you'd have to say India, good win, solid win yesterday, under a bit of pressure with 3 for 2. So those teams certainly will be looking to add their points as they go along. Today we're going to get a win, so 2 wins for New Zealand. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting one. Pakistan will be looking to get another win as well against Sri Lanka, who are keen to, reverse the trend. So that'll be a good matchup tomorrow. England also now need to get some points on the board, and they're playing Bangladesh, who have already won, and they won pretty well, but against Afghanistan, which is they were expected to win, I think. So the ones who have got points on the board certainly would fall into that category that you're after.
Nikhil, for you?
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, it's just the beginning of the tournament, you know, and teams are building momentum. And I think tomorrow, as that point out, that match is going to be crucial. I just want to add another thing. I was just going through the social media feed. I want to ask you, there's a lot of chatter about the pitches. Like a lot of Aussies on social media were saying, that pitch wasn't an ideal pitch in Chennai. But what is an ideal pitch? I think there's no definition for an ideal pitch. And for me, as a viewer, I think it's perfect if you get what we call a pata wicket in India, a flat road, and then a turning track in Chennai. How do you look at it? There's no definition for a perfect pitch, but wouldn't that be great if you play all kind of surfaces and then a world champion is crowned?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think it's just because the home team got that. That's all it is, I think. But Australia can't be making excuses. you have to improve on those pitches. And it's not easy. No one's suggesting it's easy. I mean, the easiest place for us is sitting and watching the game. The easiest thing is the coach sitting in the dugout watching the game. It's really difficult when you're in the middle, but you have to come up. You just have to improve. Somehow or other, you need to be able to turn the strike over. Too many dot balls. You need to rotate strikes.
So do you think Australia need to change their approach towards spin bowling?
Certainly, in some ways, yeah. To get deep in the crease, come forward, take a different guard, anything to be a little bit more proactive than just ball after ball, knocking it away. Which is not like I'm not saying it's easy. It's pretty difficult, but we need to see evidence that they are actually doing something to achieve that.
Well, we say it was a spin-friendly wicket yesterday, but as we saw in India's innings in the first few overs, I mean, the ball was literally talking. India were 2 for 3 down, so it's not as if the Pacers didn't. If you bowl well, you can always put the other team under pressure. It's not all about the pitch.
Yeah, with the new ball, certainly assist a good pace attack when it just skips off a little bit and it's moving, a little bit of swing. But after that initial onslaught, if you're able to, resist that, then it just becomes that little bit easier. And the difference in spinners, Nico, really, the 3 Indian spinners were far greater than the Australian spinners, and they had the better of the conditions to do it.
And as we were discussing in the morning, have Australia missed a trick by not getting in another spinner in their squad? They only have Zampa, which he didn't have a great day yesterday, and Nathan Lyon, he texted that I'm ready.
Available,
coach.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, look, I think you're right. If all these surfaces are going to behave like that, they need another spinner, no question. But they also could have maybe batted second, bowled first.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
On hindsight, it's easier.
Yeah, and what about Hazelwood? I think irrespective of the pitch, his accuracy, I think he's the most accurate bowler. If you put a coin on the pitch, I think he's going to hit all the 60 balls on that. What accuracy, and that line he bowls outside the 4th stump, it's just too difficult to play.
Yeah, and if you look at the close-up when he does give away a 4, just no expression. Yeah. Temperament, very good temperament. Very good sign.
Well, the match is just about to start, but wouldn't it be great if we saw a major upset? It'll just set the tone for the tournament. Till now, we've had some good matches, but no major upset so far. I think the closest that we came to sort of not an upset, but a very close match was the one yesterday. Otherwise, they have been pretty much, I would say, one-sided contests so far. So I just wanted to ask you, Dav, another question. How do Netherlands now shackle Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra? How do they approach that?
Well, they're going to have to, first of all, they're going to have to deliver in the right areas. They haven't got extreme pace. They have a spinner who's done well in the first game, and they'll be hoping like hell he will repeat that performance. Just do the basics as well as you can. That's all you can do. Do the basics extremely well and hope that the opposition get frustrated. And with frustration comes errors, risk taking. And if there's a chance coming, they got to complete that catch or whatever it is, a run out, and get their wickets that way.
Okay, so what score do you think the Netherlands will be happy with, restricting the Kiwis to?
Yeah, I think anything around under 300, they would probably be happy. Given what we think the surface will be, we've been hellishly wrong a couple of times on the pitch. So, it depends on how that plays, but regardless of that, under lights, I think it might be a little bit easier.
Yeah. And Devon Conway is taking the strike, and I was just saying he's the oldest debutant to score a century on his World Cup debut. I think what a player he is. I was just reading about him. The way he transformed his cricket, it's just amazing.
And the spinner's bowling, right?
Yeah.
Now look, if I was the batsman, all right, and I see the off spinner ready to bowl, change, put the right hander in. That's what I'd do.
Yeah.
And let's see what they do. They may then change their opening ball.
But I think it's Conway that is taking the strike. And he was born in South Africa, never got a chance there, then went to England, played a few seasons there, But then I was reading his comment. He said, I sold everything that I had in South Africa and then went to New Zealand because I was sure that I want to become a cricketer, professional cricketer, and pursue a career. And he sold everything thinking that there's no looking back. I just want to go there. And finally, he's scoring runs. He's New Zealand's leading run scorer and has an average of 16, 20, 23.
You got to admire that commitment. Really got. I didn't quite realise that, Nikhil. That was good information, but it makes you even more happy for the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we are just about to get started with
Without a boundary to start the innings. What do you think?
Let's hope
What's
it
the
will
ball?
set the tone. And another thing about Conway is that he's an all-format player. He's done well in the IPL, in T20s, in Test cricket, in ODIs. I mean, he is a real find and a late bloomer, as you call it. So we have Thawal asks, Sibran Engelbrecht is making his ODI debut. He was considered as the best fielder during his under-19 days. Of course, you will know about that for South Africa. Now he's 35 and he's making his debut. Let's see if he has something to like his diving catch in the 2008 under-19 World Cup. Tab, what can you tell us about that?
Well, that's not a 4 first ball. What can I tell you? Yeah, look, even though he's 35, he would have made that decision a little bit like Conway to go and become a qualified player in another country, and that takes a few years. But certainly in that under-19 level, he was a brilliant fielder, unbelievable. I've watched him a few times, not just against India, the team that I was coaching, but certainly he was also used in a bit of a naughty way. Perhaps most teams would have used it. So if he wasn't in the 11, as soon as one of the fast bowlers would finish his quota, he'd go off, and the young kid will come on, and he's like a 12th fielder. He's so good.
So first 3 deliveries have been dot balls.
I think they are giving the respect to Aryan Dutt because they must have studied him, and Conway is taking his time. I think probably the first the 6-over power play they will be cautious and then probably take the attacking mode.
Well, they had 81 in the first 10 overs in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
For 1.
Yeah. So 3 dot balls so far.
That's the 4th. Yeah.
And another dot ball. So are we looking at a maiden to start the innings?
I think I will back Aryan Dutt to bowl a maiden over.
And he's got the matching sunglasses too.
Never low on style question, the Netherlands, the orange.
But seems like he knows exactly where to pitch the ball, and he's got that spot on so far.
Yeah. I think that's what he troubled Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman as well, with his accurate line and length. I think pretty much like Jadeja, stick to his line and length, bowls at a good pace for a spinner. Oh, what a ball.
And if you're going to loft a spinner, then you've got to have the confidence to do it, don't you?
Yeah.
And sometimes even the big names, are a little, hesitant to hit the ball in the air, because if you hit the ball in the air, you could be out if you don't hit it properly. So that's another a good reason why a spinner can bowl very early.
Okay,
so
last
5
ball
dots.
coming up. 5 dots so far. Can it be a maiden to start the innings?
I think every chance.
Yeah.
There's no point doing anything silly now.
Yeah.
Just knock it back, son, and take your medicine. There you go.
Yes.
Man, that's a maiden over. Aryan Dutt.
That's a maiden over to start the innings. Already we'll include that in a stat for Aryan Dutt. But another interesting thing about him is his long run-up. What do you think that adds to his bowling?
It's long-ish, Any bowler needs to build a little bit of momentum in their action, in their delivery. Some bowlers, spinners, take a little bit less because they're strong in the shoulders. This guy, I think, is very efficient. It's not too long, but he has sufficient momentum to transfer into the back foot landing, front foot landing and delivery. So it's good. It's working for him.
Yeah, and Anil Kumble also had a long run-up.
Yeah,
obviously.
he did.
It worked for him, didn't it?
Was he a spinner? He himself said, I just used to run fast and bowl. And people didn't still figure him out. And he got 500 odd wickets in tests.
Yeah, 490 were LBW involved. They're batsmen playing for the spin, no spin.
Yeah.
I think
good top spin.
Yeah, when it's fast and it's spinning, I mean, it's obviously very, very difficult to
It
play.
is difficult.
Yeah.
Extra bounce.
Now, so prediction time, Vidar. What's the first inning total that we are looking at?
Oof. I think we'll see 300 plus. That's my prediction. New Zealand will score 300 plus.
300 plus.
Dav, you're on the spot again.
No, I'm with you. I think it's not going to be as free flowing as that pitch in either.
It's a 300 plus for New Zealand. They should easily reach there.
7 dot balls so far, so very good start for the Dutch. Ryan Klein bowling a full toss, a bit of nerves maybe, his first ball.
And 2 Australian umpires.
You'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
I thought a decent action.
Klein.
Whoa.
Not very quick though, but
Yeah, not very
that was
quick.
a good line in length there. I think when it comes to New Zealand, they seem like everyone's second favorite
Yeah,
team.
exactly.
They're very nice guys. And as Rachin Ravindra we saw during the post-match press conference, he's very humble, and unlike some of the Australians would have.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone wants them to do well.
No, of course. I was just mentioning this fact that what Kane Williamson did after losing the final, the way in which he did, he was like a gentleman. He maintained himself. If I would have lost a final on a boundary count, I would be furious. But they are gentlemen of cricket, and as Vidur said, they are everyone's second favourite team.
So we have 2 changes, right, with Netherlands, because they've omitted Saqib Zulfikar,
Yes.
the leg spinner, and brought in Ryan Klein, who's bowling now and doing a reasonable job. And then the off spinner, the Engelbrecht, comes in instead of Van Beek. Logan Van Beek. So 2 out, 2 in.
Yeah. I think Ryan Klein, he got his first ball, obviously, was a full toss, but after that he's hit the deck and done well.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's a Yorker.
Yorker.
Good effort.
So
10
10 dot
balls, no
balls.
runs.
10 dot balls. Oof.
And
But I don't think the Kiwis will feel the pressure yet.
I think they're taking it slow. They're still watching and then probably kick on from that. And I think you need one good shot to get
is
that.
different. Every surface is different. You need to spend a little bit of time. These boys can make it up later, no question, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Keep your wickets.
And you need to find that.
That'll be the priority.
Yeah. If you get one, if you need to find that sweet spot, if you get that rhythm going, I think then they will start scoring.
It's on target.
Yeah, just trying Yorkers in the very rare to see bowlers trying to bowl Yorkers in their opening overs.
And speed's only 128.
127, won't trouble the batter much, but he's getting his line and length absolutely right. So 11 dot balls to start the innings.
Yeah, so they're disciplined. So let's see how long they can go for,
Yeah.
But this is the game of cricket. We are about to see 2 back-to-back maidens when New Zealand were hammering the bowlers all around the park in the opening match.
Medium paces will tire though. They will bowl some loose ones. So you just got to be a little patient and shift momentum your way as a batting team.
So will we see a back-to-back maidens?
Yep.
And we have back-to-back
we
maidens.
do.
Who would have thought after a 273 not-out partnership by New Zealand, first 2 overs are back-to-back.
Surface.
So first 2 overs, the score is 0 for 0. Okay, I think we have discussed pretty much all that we wanted to. Obviously,
but I think we can stay for one more. I think it's good that the excitement is there on the pitch. Will we see another 3 hat-trick of maidens? Would that be too much? Because Aryan Dutt is bowling well.
Yes, he is.
Hat-trick of maidens?
No, I think the batsman will be even more positive to try and look for something.
Yeah.
But that could be his downfall as well, or it might give him
back-to-back maidens for a spin bowler at the start of the innings.
It's not coming on.
Yeah.
The spinner's not coming on, so he has to now think, how am I going to counteract that?
Yeah, and a hat-trick of maiden overs, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
And that too, the first 3.
Here we go.
Conway. Oh! I think...
Stopped, didn't it?
Bounce, yeah.
Stopped and turned.
He couldn't read it, Devon Conway. Couldn't read it.
I think it's too early for that win predictor that comes usually on the screen, but right now it would be somewhere around 80-20 the way Netherlands are bowling. Of course, it's a 50-over game, but they've started really
He
well.
looks a little bit like George Dockrell from Ireland.
Ireland,
Yeah? But
We'll have to take another look at it.
Whoa,
Oof.
and a miss.
This guy's a right-hander, but facially and action-wise similar, except one's a lefty and one's a righty. Look at that, it's turning nicely. Bit of bounce.
Yeah.
Little turn.
Conway struggling there, at least in those 2 deliveries.
Yeah, I mean... But will that be the format going forward? That will team starts with a spinner? Like India also got Ashwin in in the first 10 overs. Do you think that's the template that we'll see in this World Cup?
Well, this guy's starting because I think the other medium pieces are not going to be as effective. I think in this case, would he bowl in the second half?
Yeah.
Under lights, that's another question mark. An interesting discussion, but I think good spinners will certainly bowling first may exploit.
Yeah, but Aaron Dutt is definitely, for me, I mean, he's not the fine, he was there, but he has been economical. I think if you compare the economy rates, he has one of the best in the 50-over format.
It's 4 dots.
Yeah, 4 dots.
Yeah.
He has an economy rate of 3.6 in the power play. I mean,
His economy rate so far in this match is perfect.
perfect. I think we'll
5
see.
dots.
I think we'll see a hat trick of maidens.
overs.
That would be some record. I have rarely seen 3 maidens, back-to-back maidens, at that too, first, second, and third over.
But I think out of these, say, 17 deliveries, apart from that full toss, all the balls have been
But he's a lefty.
very good
I think
line.
the right-hander might think
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
hitting him over the top, but not the left-hander. I don't think. This is for 3 maidens in a row.
And
Oh, he did think about it. He did think about it.
The right-hander will hit
down
him,
the
I
track.
think.
yeah, I mean, 3 overs. I mean, that's what cricket is. It's so unpredictable. We saw, 273 partnership, and now 3 back-to-back maidens. I mean, and it's a Hyderabad pitch where the match happened, and they were decent, but this is a good start. Is there some difference with that? Of course, they've used a different strip, but the pitch more or less would remain the same?
The surface the characteristics can change, even though it's on the same block.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, the game's there as well. So it's back-to-back games, and the groundsman won't have that much time to prepare. But it can change. It's not always the same, no.
So, guys, are we sticking to our 300 prediction, or now are we reassessing
I
that?
said 280.
In a matter of a few minutes, we are changed. And there we have our first runs, and it's a boundary.
19 balls it took for New Zealand to open
Nice
there
straight drive down the ground,
boundary.
perfect way.
with a boundary.
But I'm still sticking with my 300 prediction. Dav?
Yeah, high 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now they have found their sweet spot. I'm guessing.
Let's come back at 30th over. And
Yeah.
We will tweet.
Yeah.
Okay, we stick to our prediction.
Will Young, he needs those runs. He was
Another one.
nice. Oh.
No, it's
Because he might be out. If Kane Williamson comes back in, they might send Rachendra Ravindra to open, and then Kane Williamson at number 3. It can be Young making way for Williamson. But again, if they want to stick to the lefty-righty combination, then I think he might just hold his spot.
Yeah, well, he's the only person who has a bit of pressure on him right now in this New Zealand lineup. So 4 for 0 after 3.2 overs.
3.2, yeah. I think we have a comments still coming in. William says New Zealand will win fair and square. I mean,
No one's arguing with that.
yeah, William, we all agree with you. It's a hot and humid day. I see the stands are pretty empty, but I'm guessing that they will be
Come in
filled.
the later part of the day. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
And it's also a Monday, so a lot of people are there in the office. But it's hot and humid. We saw Chennai was, again, hot and humid. They were constantly bringing in water bottles for the players.
Do they reduce the ticket costs for teams like this? Or is it constant right through?
We'll have to check that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should make it, attractive to locals.
Because for most of the matches, when I tried to book the ticket, they said it's a full house.
Yeah.
But apparently it wasn't in the stadium.
Obviously, non-India matches, the turnout is not that high. But you want as many people as you can to come for a World Cup clash.
And this is a litmus test for the 50-over format as well. It's on ventilator. There have been talks of playing 50-over format only in the World Cups. So I think it's a huge test for the 50-over format.
Okay, 3.4 overs. And we have...
Another 4.
Yep.
Yeah, Will Young is up and running.
It's another 4. Oh, no.
Oh.
Engelbrett? That's 4.
I think that was a decent effort, but couldn't save the boundary.
So it's 8 for no loss after 3.5 overs.
Okay, I
On
think
the pads,
Bad ball,
I think
half
that's
volley
it.
bad,
Yeah.
leg side. Terrible ball.
Okay, let's just look at the last ball, and obviously then we
Close
will wrap up. I think we'll obviously look at our predictions if we got them right in our when the innings is over. Let's see what this last ball does. Yes.
A play and a miss.
8 for 0 after 4 overs. Okay. So that's it for us on this edition of WION World of Cricket. Obviously, we'll be back once New Zealand's innings is over to see if Dav, Nikhil and I got our predictions right. Join us then for the next edition of WION World of Cricket.